Power. It's what keeps us youthful. If you've read anything on strength and health and training, you've probably read that we lose muscle mass after the age of 30, 3 to 8% per decade. Now, what you don't really hear about is how we lose power just as fast or even faster. Power is the force behind our movement. Basically, it's how fast a muscle can move a load. The goal as we age is to always stay strong, but we also want to be able to move quickly and react so we can enhance the activities we enjoy and protect ourselves from a serious injury in case we fall. Hi, I'm Coach Dom, owner of Breakthrough Fitness here in Oviedo, Florida. And today I'm going to show you that strength training is more than just lifting weights. You're going to walk away with a series of movements that's going to keep your muscles springy and fast, keeping you ready for life's challenges. So what does power look like in real life? Power can be an Olympic long jumper to a mom sprinting down the driveway to keep her kid from running into the street. Good representation of power could be that explosive golf swing, that forehand tennis stroke, or simply maybe dancing, salsa dancing, something along those lines. All representations of power. So there's a series of lower body explosive type movements that you can add into your program. I recommend getting a good warm-up, making sure the body is ready to do all these types of movements. You already have a foundation of strength, and then you program this type of training at the beginning of the workout. You don't wait to the end when you're gassed and you're tired and you're not really creating much power, and the chance of just being a little lazy with your movement is going to be higher, and you might increase the chance of injury. So get a good proper warm-up in, and then go through your explosive type training, and then you can move into your strength training right after that. All right, so most of our life takes place in this sagittal plane, walking forward. We don't move laterally a lot. So in our training, we want to be able to do that, because if we're walking or we step and we kind of lose our balance, we can fall pretty easily. So we want to train that lateral movement. So I like explosive lateral type movements with our clients. So low box step over, we call it. One of the most simple foundational moves we can do here in the facility. Doesn't take much. It adds a little bit of coordination. We might even just start people off real slow, just kind of stepping up and over, okay? And then we can kind of turn this more into an explosive type move, okay, where we learn to really get those hips back, keep that stomach tight, and we're moving. So good little quick explosive lateral movement, low box step over. Another great lateral side-to-side type explosive movement is a simple, what we call a side step shuffle, and we can take it as far or as short as we want. Simply stepping to the side. We're going to add that little hop like that low box step over we just did and kind of touch, okay? Now we can add a couple steps. The key is to learn to push off and move quick. So lateral side step shuffle, great little power move. All right, 3-cone drill, another lateral type explosive springy movement that forces us to get our knees up a little bit higher than the other two drills that I demonstrated. So I'm going to start straddling this cone. We're going to start here, lifting this leg. We're going to go up over those cones, plant, pushing that foot right there. Trying to move quick. I like to stick that landing. We get balance, coordination. What I don't want is this. Okay, you want to be up and over that cone. So we would teach it moving controlled speed. And then you could add speed to that movement. All right, now that I showed you some lateral type movements, first and foremost, if we're going to do anything explosively vertically, we're going to start on both feet. So we want to have a good foundation of strength already built with squats and deadlifts and various other leg movements before we start really leaving the ground and being explosive. Also, you got to know if your knees are capable of handling these movements. If you're working with a professional, they should know when to program these movements. All right, so squat jump. You know, you're going to get your feet right under your hips. We're going to go into that squat pattern. So it's not a full squat. You know, it's more of a quarter squat. And then we're going to explode up and land. The landing is so important. It's not just getting into a class setting and jumping and being, you want to make sure you're exploding, sticking the landing. You'll see how I land my hips, my knees. When they hit the ground, they're absorbing the shock of the landing. My stomach's tight. So when you learn how to explosively jump, this is kind of where we're at. And then, once you have it, we can string those movements together at a more rapid pace. Squat jump, that's the perfect bilateral, both feet on the ground, initial plyometric or explosive move that I would do. All right, so once we've mastered the in-place squat jump, straight vertical up and down, we can start considering moving forward with the jump. So we can call it a long jump, but when we start this movement and we start with movement in a forward direction, we don't start with as long as we can jump. We want to just kind of more of a hop and learn to stick that landing as we hit the ground. Because even though we're moving forward, we don't want to be, leaning forward. We want to be able to control that movement, learn body awareness, and be there. So we would start with that same thing, stick the landing, and then we can turn that into a very rapid movement if we want to, where we jump and try to spend minimal time on the ground. Very explosive, very powerful. All right, so we jumped vertically in place. We added forward movement into a long jump or a hop on both feet. Now you're stronger. You're already more powerful. If you have access to things like a plyometric box that you can jump on, it can be an option, but it should go through that progression before you get to something like this. Now, this is an 18-inch box. We have a 6-inch box, 12-inch, 18. They can stack and get as high as we want them to get. So when we do this, and you may have seen this on TV or in videos, we're not training endurance, muscular endurance. I want you to train power. You want to keep the repetitions on the lower side and focus on each rep. So we're not getting here and going like that. We want to get every rep. You're going to land. You're going to step down. Okay? Get set. Land. Step down. That's how you train power. If you want to use this as a conditioning tool, fine. But if you're training power, repetitions, maybe 5 reps, explosive. Every rep, take your time. Give yourself a good amount of rest before you go back into it. So that would be an explosive box jump. So now you have a progression of bilateral, both feet on the ground, jumping off both legs, power exercises. We can go into some single leg exercises where the ones we started with, that low box step over, that side step shuffle, all have a single leg component. You're going from one foot to the next. But this is what we call a strict single leg type exercise. So we're going to do a lateral hop. Some people call it a speed skater, but let's just start with a hop with stick the landing. So we're going to be on one leg, and we're going to hop, try to stick that landing. You can put your foot down, jump. So you'll see I'm landing on a bent knee. A lot of integrity in the ankle knee going on. Be good to have the proper training shoes. I'm in kind of a running shoe right now. A nice flat type cross-training shoe would be perfect for this, so your foot doesn't roll, okay? Then you'd hop, stick that landing, hop, okay? Then you can add a little speed to it. You can drag, you can tap the foot if you need to start for balance purposes. Just get used to the movement, add speed, add explosiveness, focus on height, focus on length. All different things we can do single leg. So now we got that side-to-side lateral hop. We can turn it into where we go. We can kind of add direction and come forward. And we can reverse that. Okay? So we can add some forward and backward movement, and you're going to get another great explosive lateral single leg movement. So when you start thinking of your training, don't just think lifting weights, strength training. Don't just think cardiovascular exercises like running. You want a total solution that's going to condition and strengthen the body and train that power that we just went through. That's total fitness training. If you like the idea of adding power training, explosive movement into your program, but not really sure how to do it and you want a professional to kind of program that for you, give us a call, numbers below, and we'll set up a conversation and see where we can go with that. All right, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. I'm Coach Dom. Keep moving.